welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of The Hidden Room. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and check it out and make sure to like and subscribe for more. After they left, Natalie packed a bag and left the apartment. She went to a diner across town. She sat in a booth in the back under a security camera where she just sipped her coffee until the sun came up. That morning, she booked a short-term rental under a completely different name. It was a garden-level studio with 2 locks on every door, absolutely no shared walls, and it just felt better. Not safe, just better. And for 3 days, nothing happened. All was quiet. Natalie began to think that maybe her fear had been a product of that one apartment. Like somehow it had a sickness that was built into the walls. But then she noticed the rug near the back door was misaligned, just an inch. And when she lifted the rug, she found another note taped underneath. There were 3 words carefully printed on it. Still with you. Natalie didn't scream. She didn't call the police. She just packed again. But before she could leave, she caught her reflection in the microwave door. For a split second, the face was hers, but the eyes were different. And it smiled before she did. Natalie left the rental that afternoon and didn't return. She took a bus across state without telling anyone. She paid in cash, turned off her phone, and checked into a roadside motel that didn't ask any questions. The room was plain. Faded carpet, wood paneling, no Wi-Fi, no smart devices. Natalie put a chair down by the door and then didn't sleep for 2 days. But even in the silence, the hum followed her. That low hum that she'd once thought was the air conditioning now followed her from place to place. Not loud, not constant, just there. On the 3rd night, Natalie fell asleep sitting up, fully dressed, a flashlight in her lap. But when she woke up, the flashlight was gone, and in its place was a Polaroid. The image was of her sleeping, and the timestamp was of an hour earlier. Natalie locked herself in the bathroom and only came out to search the entire motel room once the sun had risen. She found a tiny hole drilled behind the nightstand. When she peered into it using the flashlight from her phone, it connected to another room, but according to the motel's layout, that room didn't even exist. Natalie checked out immediately and drove 3 towns over and checked into a cabin in the woods under a false name. She paid the entire month in advance, and the isolation helped. There were no shared walls, no other guests, just trees and silence. For a week, Natalie felt almost normal. She wrote in a paper journal, she took walks in the woods, she read books that she'd brought with her. The hum dulled, but never fully disappeared. Then, on the 8th night, she heard it again, only louder, and this time it wasn't a hum, it was a whisper. Faint and deliberate, coming from inside the walls. The words were muffled, but the cadence was familiar. Her name, over and over again. It was like someone was calling her from another room. She just covered her ears and screamed as loud as she could until her throat hurt. When Natalie pulled her hands away, the whispers stopped, but the closet door previously closed was now open. Just a crack. She hadn't opened it. She walked over slowly, heart pounding, and she flung it open. There was nothing in it but a single sheet of paper pinned to the back wall. It had been torn from her journal. The page was completely blank except for a red fingerprint in the bottom right corner. Natalie packed within minutes and left before dawn. She didn't have a destination, just away. Every mile felt both safer and somehow more dangerous. The further she got, the more Natalie questioned if any of this was even happening at all. But when she stopped for gas in a town she didn't even recognize, the clerk handed her a package. "Someone left this for you," she said, uninterested. Just a guy in a hoodie around 314. Inside the package was a USB stick and a note. Just 4 words. "You're not done yet." Natalie circled the number in her notebook, 314. And flipped back through every page to cross-reference. Her pulse quickened, not from fear this time, but from clarity. If the events were scheduled, then she had a chance to intercept them, or at least witness whatever was happening, fully awake and ready. That night, she didn't sleep. Natalie parked behind a 24-hour laundromat with lights that stayed on and cameras overhead. She set 2 alarms, one at 3:10 and another one at 3:13, just in case. When the first one buzzed, she was already sitting up, wide awake, flashlight in one hand, phone camera in another. At 3:14, nothing happened. No knock, no whisper, no static, just silence. She waited 5 minutes, 10 minutes, still nothing. It wasn't until 3:21 that she saw it. Across the parking lot, near a flickering street lamp, stood a man. Or at least something man-shaped. Too still, too straight, like it had maybe been placed there. The figure didn't move, didn't even shift. Natalie held her breath and hit record. The camera zoomed in, hand shaking slightly. No face, just darkness under a hood or a shadow. At 3:22, it turned slowly, deliberately, and walked into the alleyway behind the laundromat. It was gone. Natalie checked her phone. The video was there. It was blurry, but it was real. She uploaded it to a cloud folder and sent the link to a dummy email address she'd created months earlier, just in case something ever happened. Natalie drove 2 towns over before sunrise. She slept until noon in a Walmart parking lot, and when she woke up and checked, her folder was empty. The video was gone, deleted, no login activity. There was no trace. It was as if it had never even existed. Her blood ran cold. That night, Natalie didn't even bother setting an alarm. What was the point? She knew it didn't matter. Whoever this was, they knew her patterns better than she knew theirs. She kept moving, changing motels every 2 nights, paying in cash, disabling her GPS. Still, the messages came. Notes left under windshields. Hotel mirrors steamed with her name. Natalie once woke up to find her shoelaces tied into a perfect sailor's knot, and she had no clue how to do that. She even started hearing the hum during the day, sometimes layered under traffic or running water. It made her nauseous, disoriented, like something was vibrating against the inside of her skull. In a motel, Natalie turned on the shower and found the water already warm. Steam thickened her mirror, and she knew someone had already been inside. She left without even grabbing her bag. She just drove, and at a gas station, she checked her reflection in the rearview mirror, and something strange caught her eye. She blinked, and it was normal again. She saw her own face, but it was slightly different. Her eyes too wide. Her smile took just a second too long to form. She blinked, and it was normal again.